Live with studios in Midland and Odessa, you're watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW West Texas.
We do a homemade meal, so that way people can have their own experience if they don't have a home to feel welcomed in.
If you're looking to give back this Thanksgiving or you need a hot meal, we have two options for you coming up in your holiday news on CBS7 News at 9. Thanks so much for joining us for CBS7 News on the CW, and thanks for joining us live on our CBS7 YouTube. I'm Mary Kate Hamilton. We're going to start tonight with a story that's only on CBS7. Congressman August Pfluger took a tour of West Odessa this morning. Pfluger was driven by Ector County Judge Dustin Fawcett and joined by Commissioner Mike Garden. The trio discussed water issues in West Odessa, oil and gas, and the local impact of border challenges. Pfluger's visit comes amid questions about the Commissioner Court's role in regulating the Ector County Utility District. With water as the most basic need, it brought up conversations between the trio about the quality of life in West Odessa.
You know, to have the schools, to have the hospitals, to have the public safety needs met, that's a big challenge. And you've got a lot of people living in Odessa, Texas, in West Odessa, throughout Ector County. And it takes a lot of leadership. So I'm grateful for what they're doing because on a national level, we need this energy.
The leaders also discussed the local impact of unlawful immigration. Operation Lone Star is forcing local DPS officers to serve stints at the border. To see more exclusive content from the ride-along, you can go to our website, cbs7.com. Congressman August Pfluger also spoke at an Odessa town hall today at the Salisbury Campus Center at Odessa College. State Senator Kevin Sparks was there, along with Odessa Mayor Javier Hoven, Ector County Sheriff Mike Griffiths, and Ector County Judge Dustin Fawcett. Pfluger spoke to elected officials across West Texas, answering questions about what's going on in D.C. He claims, quote, Odessa, Texas has been assaulted by President Biden directly, and I take that personally, end quote. He then went on to talk about the energy industry. He also took the time to honor a World War II veteran, thanking him for his service to our country. Primary elections are months away, but Midland residents have already begun their campaigns. One of them is current Midland County Commissioner Luis Sanchez, who will run for his spot in Precinct 3 as a Democratic candidate. But he says regardless of party, the thing most important to him is taking care of people in Precinct 3. Sanchez has been commissioner for Precinct 3 since 2009. He says he's been a strong advocate of fixing roads in Midland. He says it's just one of the many projects he's been pushing to get done, but there's still more to come.
I think now the biggest thing is to continue to do economic development, continue to work with the Sheriff's Department, working with our law enforcement. Of course, we know that that's very important in our community, and working to see how else can we help them.
Commissioner Sanchez will run against Republican candidate Stephen Villela. CBS7 will have an interview with him tomorrow to hear what he'll bring to the table if elected. It's time now to take a look at your weather forecast. A pretty nice day, but it's definitely getting chilly once the sun sets. Let's check in with meteorologist Justin Lopez. Justin?
Hey there, Mary Kate, and hey there, West Texas. Yeah, that's right. It's definitely getting a little bit chilly out there. We're expecting a cool night tonight as we had a cold front come in earlier today. Right now, temperatures are currently sitting at 57 degrees here in Odessa, and then right where we're looking out the window in Pecos, temperatures sitting at 59 degrees. At Big Spring, 54 degrees, and then our cooler spots are going to be around the Fort Davis, Marfa area with 49 and 44 degrees respectively. Our winds, it's been a pretty gusty day out there, and we still have a couple of areas of gusts. In Midland, Odessa, we're still dealing with 20-mile-per-hour winds gusting up to around 30 miles per hour. The Guadalupe Pass, same thing, almost 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts out there. And our temperatures for the rest of this evening, we're expecting a cold night on tap with some partly cloudy skies. 46 degrees by 3 in the morning, and then by around 5, should be around 45 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then we're going to start warming up as we head into our Thanksgiving holiday.
And as the temperatures drop, many West Texans are struggling to stay warm. That's why Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller hosts a coat drive. CBS7 is looking for gently used or new jackets or sweaters, and you can donate them at any of the locations listed there on your screen. Senior Life Midland is starting its annual warming tree project to help the elderly in Midland this holiday season. It's the 7th year for the warming tree project, and it's grown every single year. They're looking to collect warm items like fuzzy socks, blankets, jackets, and even small personal heaters. But this project is about more than just keeping seniors warm.
It's to help our clients gather warming items to keep them warm during the winter, but it's also to remind them that they are not forgotten and that they're loved. So our homebound seniors of Meals on Wheels are isolated, and we just don't want them ever to be forgotten.
Around the holidays, when Meals on Wheels drops off food for a senior, they also offer some warm items. Collections of those items runs through December 8th, and you can find a list of drop-off locations on our website. Just go to CBS7.com. The holidays can be hard for some people if they don't have a loved one to spend time with or a place to get a good Thanksgiving meal. For the last 37 years, the Midland Soup Kitchen has made sure everyone has a place to go. On any given day, the Midland Soup Kitchen feeds between 130 and 150 people, but on Thanksgiving Day, there are quite a few more.
It's going to be interesting this year because of our numbers that have gone up from 115 to 130 daily. So last year we fed about 800. I expect that to go at least 100 more, at least, I hope. The Lord always provides the meal, the Lord always multiplies the meal, and everybody goes out of here with a full belly.
Their 37th annual Thanksgiving meal will be on Wednesday at 11 a.m. It'll last until food runs out. Curbside Bistro will also have their annual Thanksgiving meals at both their original Odessa location as well as that new restaurant in Midland.
See it grow and evolve, and it start becoming people's tradition, so it's just a beautiful thing to witness. Everybody from the household that gets the plate has to be here. So I know sometimes they will have they got family members at home, or they're gonna drop off a plate to somebody. They can just send somebody in a vehicle and ask for 4, 5, 10 plates, whatever they need.
Curbside will be serving in Midland on Wednesday and in Odessa on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. They'll have food starting at 11 until they run out. President Biden carried out a White House tradition on his 81st birthday, pardoning 2 turkeys ahead of Thanksgiving. The president spared Liberty and Bell from the dinner table today during a ceremony on the South Lawn of the White House. The birds, both from Minnesota, were named after the historic Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. President Biden says they now have a new appreciation for the words, "Let freedom ring."
I hereby pardon Liberty and Bell. We can all give thanks to the gift that is our nation. And let's remember, we are the United States of America. And there is nothing, I mean this sincerely, nothing beyond our capacity when we work together.
This was the 76th annual turkey pardoning at the White House. Liberty and Bell will now live out the rest of their days free from Thanksgiving dinner at the University of Minnesota College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences. If you're driving to your Thanksgiving holiday destination, get ready for a break at the pump. Gas prices expected to be at the lowest level since 2020. But as we know, road trip costs can still add up quickly. So Cole Higgins has 5 tips to get better mileage and save some money if you're hitting the road.
More than 49 million people are expected to hit the road this Thanksgiving holiday. According to AAA, that's up 1.7% from last year.
The demand for travel just continues to go up year after year, and this Thanksgiving is no exception.
And drivers will be greeted with a welcome sight at the gas pump. Gas prices are tumbling fast across the country. According to GasBuddy.com, national average Thanksgiving gas prices could hit their lowest levels since 2020.
Overall, Americans are going to be greeted with gas prices that on average are about 45 cents lower than what they were last year.
Despite the break at the pump, road trip expenses can add up. So what can you do to minimize costs? Gas Buddy has these 5 tips. First, plan your trip well. The state where you fill up will impact prices, and those costs add up every time you fuel up.
Some states like California, the average is still $4.95, while some states like Texas are almost $2 a gallon lower at about $2.75 a gallon.
Number 2, watch your speed. Slowing down even a few miles per hour on the highway can increase your fuel efficiency. 3, shop around. Don't just pull over at the nearest station, and use apps to help you find the cheapest gas near you.
It always can pay to shop around, especially with prices now declining for 9 straight weeks. Some stations are lowering their prices much quicker than others.
4. Take advantage of perks. Consider signing up for loyalty programs to get discounts or use a rebate credit card. And finally, pay in cash. Some stations offer cash discounts. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
And mark your calendars, we're broadcasting the City of Midland tree lighting live Tuesday, November 28th. Join us at 6 o'clock for the celebration. Now for a look at today's top headlines shown here in real time with real viewers on CBS7.com. See all these stories and more by downloading our app or visiting our website, CBS7.com. Still ahead, hopes are high for the possible release of some hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza. The new plans to get more aid to the war-torn region when we return to CBS 7 News at 9. The U.S. says a deal to release some of the more than 200 hostages held by Hamas could be close. It comes as Israeli military officials have released new videos claiming to show terrorist tunnels at Gaza's largest hospital. CBS News correspondent Naomi Ruckham reports from New York.
President Biden expressed hope negotiators could reach a deal to free some hostages held in Gaza.
Mr. President, is a hostage deal near? I believe so, but I'm not prepared to talk to you. Believe so? Yes.
Multiple sources told CBS News an agreement would likely include the release of 50 hostages in exchange for Israel pausing the fighting and allowing more humanitarian aid into Gaza, including fuel.
We believe we're closer than we've ever been, so we're hopeful.
As protesters take to the streets demanding a ceasefire, White House officials say Israel's efforts to eliminate Hamas do not amount to genocide.
What happened on the 7th of October? Murder, slaughter of innocent people in their homes or at a music festival. That's genocidal intentions. Israel is not trying to wipe the Palestinian people off the map. Israel's not trying to wipe Gaza off the map.
Hostages' family members met with ministers of the war cabinet in Tel Aviv.
We all feel, especially when we're talking about our families, that this should be the top priority.
Israel released video, it says, shows a Hamas tunnel that runs below Gaza City's sprawling Al-Shifa hospital complex, complete with blast doors and a firing hole. Dozens of premature babies were transferred from the Palestinian territory's main hospital to receive care in Egypt. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
A team from the World Health Organization visited Gaza City's hospital and described the facility as a death zone.
All right, everybody. So we had a cold front come in earlier today. cooling our temperatures down a little bit for tomorrow, but then we are expecting a little bit of a warm up for your Thanksgiving. I'll give you more details coming up about exactly what we can expect on Thanksgiving Day.
Now, from the CBS7 First Alert Weather Center, here's meteorologist Justin Lopez.
Good evening, West Texas. We had a cold front pass through earlier today, kind of dropping our temperatures, definitely making those winds ramp up. You can actually see that cold front center right there, kind of swirling off toward the Oklahoma, Nebraska, Missouri area right there. And you can see the tail end of it right here along the Gulf Coast of Gulf of Mexico and Texas Gulf Coast. Looking at the rest of the radar across our area, pretty quiet. Only got some snow out there around the mountains of New Mexico. Looking at our temperatures for today, we actually wound up making it warmer than we should have been just by a few degrees. Our average high is 65 degrees for this time of year. We made it to 69 degrees here in Odessa, 67 in Midland, and we got a little warmer down in Brasilia with 70 degrees. Looking at our current temperatures, however, we have 57 degrees out here in Odessa, and in Pecos, where we're looking out right now, 59 degrees. It's a little cooler out there near Fort Davis, 51, and then Marfa's sitting at 44 degrees right now. But those winds today were pretty gusty. We got up to 30 miles per hour here in the Midland, Odessa area, 55 miles per hour out there in the Guadalupe Pass, and even stronger wind gusts out there in El Paso with 60 miles per hour. And looking at our winds right now, most areas have calmed down, but we're still dealing with some pretty gusty conditions out here in Odessa with 20 mile per hour winds and 30 mile per hour wind gusts in both Odessa and in Midland, still around the same in Guadalupe Pass. Like I said, our satellite and radar showing pretty clear conditions all across our viewing area. There is some snow out here near Ruidoso and Alamogordo. Otherwise, dealing with some pretty nice conditions in our area. But we are expecting some more cloud coverage to pass through tonight. Then after that, going to be clear sailing here. Tomorrow we should have, by midday, mostly clear conditions in our viewing area. Looking at our conditions for the rest of the night tonight, 47 degrees by 2 in the morning, and then we'll be at 45 by 5. Still dealing with those wind gusts up to 25 miles per hour. And looking at our temperatures, highs for tomorrow, 56 in the Midland, Odessa area, 57 out in Big Spring, and then 59 in Pecos. Brasilia will be dealing with temperatures a little warmer in the 60s, 62 degrees there. We have a cold front that will be coming in on Friday after Thanksgiving, but for Thanksgiving itself, we're looking at some pretty nice conditions. So get out there, enjoy Make sure you grab a sweater in the morning. It will be cold, but otherwise pretty nice weather for your Thanksgiving holiday.
Still ahead, we've got 3 area teams still in the high school football playoffs. We take a look at their third round games up next in sports on CBS7 News at 9 on the CW.
Time now for CBS7 First Alert Sports.
We are down to 3 teams from our area still in the high school football playoffs: Midland Legacy, Monahans, and Balmorhea. The Rebels are playing in the 6A Division I bracket. Legacy had an incredible double overtime win against Euless Trinity on Saturday. The final score 57-55. Now the Rebels will play Allen. Allen is known for being one of, if not the biggest, high school in Texas, and they've won 5 state titles since 2008. The Rebels and the Eagles will play on Saturday in Abilene, kickoff at 4 p.m. The Monahans Lobos are one of the best teams in 4A Division II again this season. It's the 3rd year in a row that Monahans has advanced to the 3rd round. They'll take on Canyon West Plains this Friday. Monahans is ranked number 7. West Plains is number 9. That game is at 7 o'clock Friday at Lubbock Cooper. And in 6-man football, the Balmorhea Bears seem to be peaking at just the right time. Balmorhea has won 10 games in a row, and the Bears scored 78 points on Silverton last week. Balmorhea takes on number 5 Klondike on Friday. Klondike is technically in Lubbock's area, but it is less than an hour north of Midland. That game is being played in Rankin at 6:30. As football season winds down, basketball season is picking up. CBS 7's Jerry Brooks Davis gives us the highlights of some of those games right now.
Thank you, Jacob. It was Odessa High versus Lubbock Coronado today. The Broncos run the weave. Jatorian Johnson shoots and misses the three-pointer, but he gets cleaned up by Nelej Jenkins for 2 points. Moments later, Jenkins would miss a three-pointer, but Drayshawn Douglas, fresh off of the football field, he grabs the rebound and he puts it back up for 2 more Big Red points. Now let's take it outside real quick. Jenkins, he gets left wide open. He pops the 3 and he knocks down the 3 for Odessa High. Moments later, after an Isaiah De Leon save along the baseline, it rolls over to Jenkins. He shoots a three-pointer and he swishes it for Big Red. So the Broncos, they saw themselves leading by 1 in the second half. De Leon, he makes it a 4-point lead after he knocks down the tray ball. One player I'm excited to watch this season is Jatorian Johnson. He drives in and goes up and under for 2 more points, but the Broncos, they would fall to the Mustangs this afternoon, 58-55. In more games today, the Lady Broncos of Odessa took on the Lady Lobos of Monahans. Odessa was crashing the boards early. That's Donaja Watkins. On the break, she's going to go coast to coast and lay it in for Big Red. Now let's check up on the Lady Lobos. They toss it down low to Bethany Sanchez. She goes around and she puts it up and puts it in for 2 points. Now the Broncos, they would immediately respond with a full court press. Monahans, they turn it over to Clarissa Rodriguez, who floats us in for a layup. Later on, it's Watkins who goes coast to coast. She bullies her way to the cup for the layup as Odessa High, they got the win 45-27 over Monahans.
A very exciting boys basketball matchup was also tonight in Odessa. Permian hosted Midland Christian, 2 programs that are consistent winners. Tip-off was at 7:30, and CBS7 sports director Jacob Brandenburg will have those highlights tonight on CBS7 News at 10. But still ahead here at 9, from the shelter to a home filled with love. Meet Elvis the dog, who was picked last at an adoption event. We have the story next on CBS7 News at 9. Well, we have a happy ending for a shelter dog named Elvis. Check this out. The Anti-Cruelty Society in Chicago hosted an animal shelter adoption event last weekend, and Elvis was the only dog not to get adopted. But then local media did a report on Elvis, which a couple saw and decided they wanted to adopt. The Anti-Cruelty Society says the adopting couple is, quote, head over heels in love with their new family member and already has a dog bed and tons of toys waiting for him at his forever home. So there you go, Justin. Everything worked out for old Elvis.
And such a beautiful dog. He's adorable. Look at those little spots.
I know. I can't believe no one wanted him, but he's happy now. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, exactly.
Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching CBS7 First Alert News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news at 10.